Okay, thank you. Yes, in the previous class, we are discussing about the changing the permissions. There are two ways of changing the permissions. One is relative permission and the other one is the absolute way of changing the permission. In order to change the permissions, we use the command called chmod. We use the command called chmod. I think you remember that the shortcut to clear is Control L. Chmod, there are two ways. In the relative way, it is user, group, owner. It is not mandatory you have to use all the three, any one or any two or any three or all the three. Instead of UGO, if you don't like, you can directly write A. A is nothing but all, user, group and the others. Plus means to assign the permission, minus means to remove the permissions. Now, if you want to provide read permission R, if you want to provide write permission W, if you want to provide X, X. Next, the file name RSA dot C. This is a file name. If I give, if you check the file permission, in order to check the file permissions, ls-l file name RSA dot C. See now, read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. All the permission is given. That is one way. The another way of, this is the relative way. The another way of providing the permission is absolute way. The absolute way is number 751. 751 means if you decode that 751, 751, the meaning is in 3 bits you have to write 111, read, write, execute. 5 means 101. 5 means 1 in 3 bits. If you write binary, it is 001, 751. The meaning of this is read for owner. For owner, we are going to give all the three permissions. For group owner, 101 only read and execute. For others, only execute permission. This is the absolute way of providing the changing the file permissions. Now if you write like this RSA, now if you check the file permissions, see there read, write, execute, read, execute, just only execute for others. This is how we are going to provide the file permission. This is an absolute way. This is relative way. The next thing is that there is some disturbance. Now I think it is clear. Now you can see like this absolute way with the numbers, octal numbers, or with the relative way with the characters. Now there is a recursive way of providing the permissions. What is that is, see ls, there are so many files inside this folder. If there are so many files, I want to provide the same permission for all the files. For all the files, I want to give same permissions. In that case, what I'll do is inside a current directory, chmod -r. What is the permission I want to give? Let it be 777. Full read, write, execute for all the users, three category of users: owner, user, group owner, and others. What is the file name? The file name is I want to assign for all the files. In that case, regular expression meta character star. In this way, if I give, it is going to assign the file permissions for all the files which are present in that folders. Since it wants to assign to so many for files, see it has took some time. And if you check ls-l, see for all the files, it is full permission. Read, write, execute, read, write, execute. For all, it can be the directory or anything. For all the files, full permission is given. If you want to assign like this to all the files, you have to use this recursive chmod -r. Full permission or anything 751 111 or 011, any number. And I have shown you how to decode these numbers. 7 represented in binary, 5 represented in 3 bits binary, represented in 3 bits. This is how you can decode like. Remember this. It can be the absolute way, or one more is relative way. Relative way is chmod -r. I want to give for all the files. No, I will remove for all the users A. I will remove executable permissions for all the users. A means all the three users. Minus means remove the permission. X means I want to remove executable permission. I'm giving star. Now if I enter, everything is removed. In order to check, see everywhere no, X is not there. X is being replaced by hyphen. Executable permission you have removed for all the files which are present in this folder. Tilde symbol means inside this root home, all the files. Recursive way of assigning the file permissions. The next thing is the commands, the recursive list, it will not apply the rules for hidden files. If you want to apply it for hidden files, you have to write like this: chmod -r 777 dot. If you write like this, then it will apply for hidden files. For all the hidden files, it will give full permissions: read, write, execute. How to check that? In order to see the hidden files, ls-a. See all the hidden files, wherever you see the hidden files, the full permission is been given. It starts with the dot. Now I'm clear. This is what the file permissions, two ways: absolute, relative, and also recursive. If you have any doubts, you can raise your hand. I'll clear it now. Even if you have any doubts, you can raise your hand, or in the chat you can send your doubt. If I don't have any doubts, I'll move to the next topic. See, after this changing the file permission, the absolute permission, all the relative permissions, recursively how to change all those things. The next thing is you should know about the directory permissions. The directory permission is, till now we have seen the file permissions of the file. Now the folder, we'll check the file permission of the folder. See, I'll go to the root home. Inside that, I'll create one directory, or else I'll create it from the terminal itself. mkdir make directory. The today folder name is, or the directory name is dir. Today date is 30092020. This is the directory name. In order to show that today I have created, I have given like this the name. Now what is the file permission of this directory? File permission of this directory. In order to see that, ls-d ls-d dir 30092020. See now, if I just enter ls-d, it will return you the same folder name. If it returns the same directory name, it indicates that it is a directory. If it returns an error, it is not a directory. See now, ls-ld, it will give you the file permissions of only the directories. See, the first D indicates it's a directory. Read, write, execute. The default, the Unix operating system default permission is for the owner, he can do anything, read, write, execute. For the group, owners, they can read or they can execute. For others from the outside world, they can read and execute. They don't have the write permission. This is the default file permission that is being given by the operating system. This rules, it should not be changed. If anything that is being tampered from the other users, the files which are present inside that directory gets tampered, then you have to check the file permission of that directory. See, within the directory, where is the directory? dir. See, whatever the files which are there inside this directory files, that permissions, it will depend on the directory permissions. Even though, see, the document empty file is there, the file name is test.c. One more file I'll create, rsa.c. See, there are two files. Even though if you have given full permission, rsa.c, read, write, execute, test.c, read, write, execute. Even though if you have given all permission, but if the directory permissions, if the directory permissions, if we give you only to read the files, in that case, you cannot access the files which are present inside the directory. All the control of the files, all the control of these files, it will be dependent on the permissions of the directory which is being enclosed. That is why the default permissions of the directory that you have seen is like this. The owners or the other users, they should not write anything inside that directory. That is why they don't give write permissions for both. But you can change the permissions, but that is not a good way to provide the right permissions for the others and also the group owners, because you are the owner of those files. The others should access, they should not change it, they should not tamper it. That is what the directory permission is all about. Even you can change, but it should not be changed, because others, you are the owner, you should give only the read and execute permission for others. This is the default permission. This is how you can see ls-ld the directory name. In order to create the directory like this, all the files which are present inside the directory, the control will be present in the file permissions of the directory itself. Even though full permission is there for the files, but if the full permission, if it is not given for the directory, you cannot do anything with the files, you cannot access. That is what the directory permissions. The next thing is, I want to tell about some owner. The group owner is there, right? See, owner is there, group owner is there, and also others. I want to change this owner itself. I want to change the owner. CHOWN owner. I want to change it to the owner of that file is Ram. Inside this till current directory, there is a file called rsa.c. See, it is telling that Ram invalid user. Ch owner, I have given change the owner to Ram of the file name rsa.c. First, we will see who is the owner. ls-l rsa.c. Who is the owner? Root is the owner. Group owner is also root. What I did is I want to change the owner CHOWN to RAM RSA.c. We'll try one more. Since the user RAM is not there in my system, it is not possible. Whether this user is there. See, in the previous classes I have shown there is a one more account in my system. There is a one more account that is called Kailash. Other than the root, there is a one more account called Kailash. That is why if I enter change the owner to Kailash rsa.c, see now the owner is being changed from root to Kailash. In order to change the owner, the command name is, when this situation comes, if you want to, you have created some files, the next part of the file is to be updated by some other owner. Assume that there are two software developers. The developer one is going to write the program, half of it. Till that time, he is the owner. The remaining part will be developed by the second developer. In that case, before you give the file to that person, you are going to change the owner of that file. How to change this? Like this: CHOWN, the change the username, and then followed by the file name. Now, do you have any doubts in this? If I want to change the group owner, there will be this Kailash or the other users, they can belong to so many groups. It is not mandatory the one user should belong to one group. Whenever the operating system logs in, whenever the user logged into the operating system, he belongs to one group. But you can assign one user to number of groups. You can assign to number of groups. Now, I want to change the group owner. For that, there is a command chgrp group Kailash rsa.c. See, before that the group was root. Now the group is being changed to Kailash. In order to change the group of any file, you have to use the command chgroup. Now I'll do both the things. ch owner. I'll do both the things like this: root colon root rsa dot c. See now, the file name owners I have changed from Kailash and the group owner from Kailash to root and root, but with a single command. Ch owner root. First one will it is going to change the username, means the owner colon. The next name will be another root that indicates the group owner followed by the file name. This is in order to change the owner and a group in a single command, you can do like this: chown group user colon group owner followed by space file name. If you enter, it will change both the uh, owners. This is how you can change the file permissions, group ownership, file ownership. This is called as changing the file ownership. File ownership is changing the owner, that can be user or group owner. If you have any doubts, you can ask about these things. Chmod -r, chmod absolute way of changing the file permission, chmod relative way of changing the file permissions, then changing the directory permissions. What is the default directory permission? And the next thing is changing the owner, chown space new owner space file name. In order to change the group owner, chgrp space new group owner name space file name, or else both the things you can do in a single command, that is chown space new user colon new group name space file name. Do you have any doubts in this? Anyone? No doubts? Okay. If you don't have any doubts, no problem. See, this is the topic that we have discussed. One is the ls commands with various options, changing the file permissions in both the ways, relative and absolute ways, the changing methods, recursively changing the file permissions. Recursively means chmod -r. The last thing is the directory permissions. The last thing is the directory permissions. What is the default directory permissions? Whether we can change it or not. The next thing is we have to start the second chapter in the module 2, that is shell's interruptive cycle. What is this wildcard? What is this shell? All those things. I'll give you 2 minutes. Please send your attendance. Then we'll start. Yes, the shell interruptive cycle will start now. See, in this shell interruptive cycle is nothing but, in this chapter we are going to discuss about what is this shell is all about. We use the word shell. What is this shell about? How many different types of shells are there? I use the word this shell in the beginning of the chapter in the module. Uh, and also, what is this command interpreter? How exactly this shell executes the command? What is this wildcards? what are the three standard files and what is that redirection operator. All those things we are going to discuss in this chapter. What actually this shell is? Shell is nothing but it's a software. It's a program. Remember, it's a program. In the background, in the background, the shell is going to communicate with the kernel. For what purpose the Unix operating system has given you the shell is to execute the commands. See, which is called as a shell is this one. So this terminal, this is one shell. This terminal, what it is doing is, this is a program which is running in the background. It is waiting for the user to enter the command. It can be user or any other software program. It is waiting for the commands. When you enter the commands here, then what is the next job of that the shell is, it will rename or it will change that command itself. Change that command means whatever you enter, either it is going to change. Yes, it is going to change. See, the first step of this shell is, the shell, it's a program. It is also called as command interpreter. I have used this word command interpreter in the beginning classes. The command interpreter is, even if there are 1,000 lines of program or the instructions, if you give those 1,000 instructions to the compiler, it will receive the entire 1,000 lines of instructions, and it will check in which lines where there are mistakes, and it will throw you the errors of those particular lines. That is what the compiler. The interpreter is the opposite of the compiler is interpreter. The opposite of interpreter is compiler. The interpreter is, if you give 1,000 instructions to the interpreter, if there are errors in the first line and all the 999 lines instructions are correct, it will not check all the next remain 990 lines. If the errors is there in the first instruction, it will first ask you to correct it. Then it will throw you the error that there is a mistakes in the first instruction. Correct it. Then it will check. Yeah, then the interpreter will take the second line as an input. Check whether there is a error or not. It will execute third line. If there are any errors, if there are no errors, execute. In that way, line by line execution. And if there are any errors, there itself it will throw the errors. It will not take the entire program as an input, and it will not work exactly as a compiler. That is the meaning of interpreter. The shell is a command line interpreter. Python is a command line interpreter. In the C it is a compiled language. C is a compiled language. Then it is a compiler is used. In the Java, compiler is used. JDK. I think you have heard the JDK. It's a compiler. That is why you should understand before you learn in any language whether it is an compiled language or whether an interpreted language. Here, see this, whenever you open the boot the operating system, the whenever you open the terminal, the shell is waiting for the input from the user. It will throw you the prompt. Prompt is nothing but, see, it is the black one it is showing, right? It will prompt for the key user input. When the user enters like this, chmod, changing the to the user, then tilde symbol ls hyphen l rsa dot c. See here, I have changed the group owner to Kailash of the file name rsa.c. I'm using one pipe symbol here, then ls-l rsa.c. This indicates there are two commands. One is change group, another one is listing the files. Both the things you can do in a single command with this operator. the pipe symbol, that is called as a meta character. This is a meta character. See, it has changed the file permission and it is going to list the that file rsa.c. Both the things you can do with this pipe symbol. Joining the commands, it is with this operator. This redirection operator, this one, or this pipe symbol, or any other these operators, that we are going to call it as an meta characters. If the meta characters are there in the commands, then if there are any meta characters in the command, then it has to replace with all the files. Say rm dot star, rm star. Remember this, rm means remove all the files which are there inside that folder. Remove all the files which are there inside that folder. Whenever you enter this command and press enter, what the shell is going to do is it will take this rm as an input star. Directly it will not send this instruction to the kernel to execute. It will do the replace work. That star will be replaced by all the file names which are present inside this directory. Inside this directory, all the file names which are there, right? That file names will be replaced. rm rsa.c, so many file names. It will do, it will change the command and then it will send that changed command to the kernel. Then execution happens. Then it will return you uh, the output and that will be shown on the screen. That is what I said. The meta characters, if are there in the instructions, that will be replaced by the shell, and then it is going to send the execute the replace changed command to the kernel, execute and return the output to the user. Once again, it will display on the user. These are all the normal steps of the shell. Step by step, I'll repeat. Shell will be, it will open the prompt and it will wait for the user input. The second step is it will, if it will search for the meta characters in the commands. It will search for the meta characters in the commands. If the meta characters are present, it will replace it with the, it will be replaced with the particular instruction. Star means all the file names. Redirection operator means pass, create one file name and pass, call the save command. After that, the replaced command will be sent to the uh, kernel, execute it, and once again shown the output to the user. This entire chapter of the shell, the continue, we are going to continue in the next chapter, next classes. That's all for today's class. Thank you. If you have sent the attendance, you can exit.